Welcome back to Lamp Oil Stock, a Hebrew Israelite channel where we give our point of view on different types of topics. So, what are we going to be talking about today?
Today we're going to be talking about Matthew chapter 3, verse 15.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking about it because Christ said some things, and I think people, they hear what he said, and they think they know what he said, but a lot of people haven't really paid a lot of attention to what he said or why he said it. So I kind of want to look at some of the things that Christ said and discuss them.
Okay, so let me make sure I got it straight, playing host again. So we're looking at, this is actually the very first time Christ's words are recorded in the Bible.
Right.
Okay. And I'm with you. I do talk to people myself that either quote Christ or use it very loosely and have no real concept of what they're talking about.
Right, because they listen to what other people say instead of going to the source themselves. And we all fall for it, or at least we have all fallen for it. So I just kind of want to read exactly what he said and get some sort of idea of what we're talking about.
Okay.
Myself.
All right. So the first mentioning is in Matthew
chapter
3, verse 15.
Right.
Okay, go for it.
And it says, "And Jesus answering said unto him, Suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he suffered him." Now, this verse by itself doesn't make any sense unless you know the context, right?
Oh, right. Right. Okay, so what's happening?
This is when Christ is starting his ministry.
Okay.
And John the Baptist is baptizing people.
Okay. So John the Baptist is in the process of baptizing several people, and then Christ shows up.
Right. Christ walks up and asks John the Baptist to baptize him, and John is like, "Hold on, wait a minute. I don't want to. I shouldn't be baptizing you. You should be baptizing me, right?" So he was saying that Christ had more power and authority than he did,
okay,
and that he wanted it. And Christ was like, "Wait a minute. I need you to do this for me because I have to do all the things that righteousness requires."
Okay.
So he's not saying all you have to do is be baptized and you're good. He's saying that this is just one of the many things that righteousness requires, and he has to have that happen to him.
Now, let me put something else in context here. This is our first meeting. Now, this isn't our first meeting of Christ, because we've been with if you're reading along in the Bible itself, this is chapter 3. So we've already gotten his lineage. We've been running with his parents for a while, as the story is set up. But this is actually the beginning of his ministry. The beginning. It's not the end.
Right.
Which, I don't know why a lot of churches seem to make it seem like that is the goal. Get baptized and you're done. But no, this is actually the start.
And it's an important start because being baptized or being put in the water has significant meaning throughout the whole Bible. And I want to relate because some people say that the New Testament is a whole new thing by itself and something has changed and this is it, but that's not true. The New Testament, it just gives testimony to the Old Testament.
Okay.
So in the Old Testament, if you were doing something and that made you unclean, like your animal died, so you went and buried it. Well, touching something that's dead makes you unclean.
Right.
And in the Bible, what you're supposed to do is wash your body in water, and then at nightfall, you become clean again.
Right.
So as he's starting his ministry, he is going to put his body in water to wash away all of the filthiness that is on it, and starting out with a new life and doing what the Most High wants him to do.
Okay, so if that's the case, if what you're saying is absolutely true, there should be some verses that allude to that in the Old Testament.
Right, right. There should always be something in the Old Testament that alludes to it.
Okay.
But now I know people say that Christ was perfect, and they're right. Christ was perfect, and this had nothing to do with whether or not Christ was perfect or not. It had to do with Christ came to show people how they were supposed to live the law. And
right.
if he's going to show you what you need to do, then he has to actually do those things so that you get an idea. People say, I'm following Christ. Well, then you need to follow and do the things that he did.
Right.
Okay, so if we go to Ezekiel chapter 36.
Now this is Old Testament.
Old Testament.
Right.
We will see that if we start, I want to start a little bit up, so bear with me. We're going to start at Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 17.
Okay.
It says, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries. According to their way, and according to their doings, I judged them. And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name, when they said to them, These are the people of the Lord, and are gone forth out of his land.
Okay. Can I stop you for a second?
Okay.
Okay. So, because this is, to me, seems very significant.
Right.
So, if we think about the Ten Commandments for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Commandment number, I want to say 2. Okay, because put no God before thee. That's the first one, and the second one, although I'm not looking at this list right offhand, is do not profane the name of the Most High. You're gonna pull them up for me. You got to pull them up. And I it's just because I'm listening to you. I'm just listening to you talk about it.
Thou shalt not take the name of thy Lord
in vain.
Yeah, of the Lord thy God in vain.
Right. And we did a whole series on the Ten Commandments at one point, but it says here that they profaned my holy name.
Right.
By saying, when they say to them, these are the people of the Lord. So the way that this happens, this has to be people claiming to be of the Most High.
Right.
But acting like
evil.
The heathen, right?
Yeah.
Just doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but still saying that they are of the Most High.
Right, right.
Now, if we also look at this, it says that for their idols within their lands. So you were just looking at the Ten Commandments.
Mm-hmm.
Their idols, that's number 4.
Is it?
I believe it is.
No, that's honor thy father.
Which one is
mother.
idols? No graven image.
I don't know.
It's the second one.
Quit putting me on spot.
I don't mean to do that, but you shall make no graven image.
As no gods before me is the first one. Their name in vain. Second, remember the Sabbath. Third. Okay, see, I'm on Google, and it depends on what list you look at as to which the order.
Okay,
is.
well let's just skip that. The important part is there is no graven images, no idols.
Right.
And the people of Israel were worshiping idols, still claiming to be a part of the Most High, and then once they were scattered, they didn't change their ways. They simply picked up the ways of the heathen that were around, but still continued to claim to be members of the Most High.
Right. So, he's upset at them, and he's declaring a judgment on them.
Right.
But then it says 21, on Ezekiel 36, verse 21, it says, But I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whither they went. Therefore, say unto the house of Israel, Thus saith the Lord God, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went. So, God is saying here, wait a minute, I'm going to do something for you. Not for you, but for me. Because since you're telling people that you are mine
Right.
and profaning my name, even though you're not acting right, I'm going to save you because I want people to glorify me.
Right.
I've got to make I have to clean my name up,
Right.
Because you're making me look bad. So I have to show that I'm not, I am God. I'm this great and powerful thing. So I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. Okay, then it says
You're at 23.
23, verse 23. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, saith the Lord God, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. So by sanctifying you, by cleansing you, people will know who I am.
Right.
Verse 24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land. 25. Then, and this is the part that I'm talking about with baptism, then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. 26. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. 27. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. 28. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God.
So, to establish what's going on here, the Most High, after seeing how the people carried on with his name, gives a process. Says he's going to pull them out of the nations that they're in and clean them up so that they are carrying his name in righteousness.
Right, and he will be their God, and they will be his people. So
Right.
when you get to Christ, well, Ezekiel is talking about Israel, but by the time you get to Christ, we're with the Jacob, the tribe of Jacob and Benjamin, right? And they had gone off. Later on, we know that the prophecy is given that the temple is going to be destroyed and
Right.
they're going to be scattered. And so Christ is showing how we can get back to the Most High. And he's not saying his own words. He's just repeating what God had said before. And he's doing that to show people what they need to do.
Right. Now, if we take this, I'm just going to take this and kind of fast forward it to today.
Okay.
We Israelites are scattered all over the world.
Uh-huh.
We're being woken up
Yes.
and understanding who we are for the first times in our lives.
Right.
And if we're following behind Christ, which we are doing,
Mm-hmm.
we have to be doing what he does. Baptism, to get ourselves clean and ready to actually carry forth the Most High's name correctly.
Right, but if you read Ezekiel and you pay attention to the words that God said, it's not just going into some water, right?
Right.
You have to choose the Most High, and you have to choose to get rid of all that filth that you have. You can't get baptized and be good.
It's not a bath. Yeah.
You have to be baptized and leave off all of that sin, all of that filth, and become righteous. Because if you're not, then you are just taking a bath or going swimming, and it's irrelevant.
Now, I'm going to take the last part of what he says here. That I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes and keep my judgments and do them.
Right.
And if you'll notice, it's so amazing to me. You'll have these you'll have these churches out on every street corner at this moment. That's almost how you look at it. They're baptizing people, and not teaching anything beyond that. Not teaching anything beyond that. They're simply saying, "Oh, you're baptized, you're done."
Right. And if we go back to Matthew 3, chapter 15, and what Christ says is, "Suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness." So it's not you're done. You get baptized and you're done. Righteousness. You have to be righteous. And what is righteousness? It is following the laws.
Right.
Following the laws is what righteousness is. So for those people who say, well, Christ did away with the law, well, you're just lying.
I'm going to go with mistaken.
Now, lying, mistaken, same thing. At the end of the day, you were causing people to leave the Most High for what you want, for a good time and an easy way to go. Oh, and that, I'm sorry, I'm getting angry. Whew, calm it down.
Hence why I said. That's why I said mistaken. That's why I said mistaken.
No, you know, I'm so sick and tired of people wanting to give a word that makes it seem nicer. You know, it's not mistaken. You're a damn liar.
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, all right, I'll give you that. You calm yet?
Kwam Yasharala.
Coming soon. But anyway, this is a thing, and we should at least talk about this for just a moment. There are the laws, statutes, and commandments listed throughout the Bible. And I guess the only way that I would look at it is Satan's immediate corruption is to say that baptism is the finish line, so therefore you don't have to do anything else. Oh, you've been baptized, you're done, and now you're missing. You're immediately stepping away from the Most High and thinking that you're stepping toward Him.
Right. You immediately step away because you fulfilled everything that you believe you had to fulfill. And the world is out there and it wants you to do all of these other things. So then you run to do what you want to do. But when you first wake up and decide that you want to be baptized, even in the Christian church, you know, for me, I felt like there is this God and He loves me and I love Him and there's things He wants me to do. So this is what I'm doing, and it's hard to stand up in church and say, hey, I want to be baptized, and then to go up in front of those people.
Right.
And you feel like this burden has been lifted off of you, and you feel wonderful for like the first week.
Yep.
And then after that, life is normal as usual, and you forget all about God and the love that made you stand up in the first place, because your pastors are telling you, well, that's all you had to do. You're good now.
Yeah, but you know this makes no sense. It's like getting a bus ticket, never getting on the bus. You know, hey, you got your ticket. Yeah, it's great. Are you ever going to actually pack bags and get ready to go? No. I mean, they simply. But like I said, that's Satan's plan, is to get you to. Sure, you can say you're on God's team, but if you don't actually do anything, it doesn't matter.
That's right. Satan is running around and he's trying to destroy everybody. The question is, are you going to let him?
Absolutely. Okay, so thank you guys for taking a few minutes to think about the words of the Most High, of Christ in this particular example. You know, thank you so very much for spending a part of your evening with us. Take a moment and leave a comment or a like or a dislike or whatever you happen to say.
Sorry, I'm upset.
Why are you upset? There's no need to be upset. I mean, look, Satan is going to do what Satan does.
He is, but it makes me angry. It makes me angry.
Completely understand. So anyway, once again, thank you for listening to Lamp Oil Stock. If you have a question or a comment, please write it on whichever channel you happen to be watching us on. Thank you so very much. Do you got anything else?
Kwam Yasharala.
Bye.